Hello everybody, welcome to another live stream. Today we're going to talk about Bitcoin, again, as always talk about Bitcoin. While we're getting started, go ahead and drop your questions, comments into the chat, because today we're going to do something a little different. You're going to tell me in the comments where you were actually going wrong with your trading, and I will see if I can provide any tips, advice, or changes to your strategy to see what might actually help you perform a touch better. But before that, let's just get into our standard Bitcoin update. How's the video? Looks good. I think it's a bit too bright. Turn that down one. Okay. I got Dobie on the stream again today. Best co-host ever. I love him. Where's Gurney? I haven't seen Gurney in a hot minute. Somebody send this live stream directly to Gurney, because he's always liked to tune in. Then we're going to talk about Bitcoin. Yeah, I said that already. So let's actually go to a different chart template here. I'm just going to do 3D Wave PM signal, because I do have a few new options for Wave PM, but this one is going to be the what's it called? The most operable, if you will. Least chance of crashing my computer, if you will. So BTC USD. And let's actually talk about this current move and potential positions we can take here. All right, short term. Because these kinds of moves snap back toward the center of data rather nicely, right? And it looks like we have already lost a bit of steam. Currently, it's looking like the 14 period's currently overexpanded, and this is the 14 period band, so that's nice. And change this one to the 200 just for reference. Okay, we can actually do this one on the 3-minute chart. Yes, guys, you can trade the 3-minute chart quite successfully if you know what to look for. Michael Hurst, hey. Amanda, hello. Welcome to the live stream. Let's actually talk about a short-term position we can take here, okay? As soon as 3D Wave PM is done loading, we can actually jump on this. What's Adobe's investment strategy? He's not a very good investor, I would say. Usually when he sees food, he eats it right away, even if not eating it would provide more food at a later date. That was actually one of the biggest tests to see if someone would get out of poverty as a child, is if they were willing to get 1 piece of candy now or 2 pieces of candy later. It was a very significant test that was possible. Okay, longest overexpanded period is currently 180. Okay, for a long position, we're gonna have to do something like this. Yeah, still a ways away, although looks like we're gonna get some lateral trading for now. Our fastest period of mean reversion is already occurring here on the 3-minute chart, right? We re-enter the 14 band, we're going to the 14 moving average. So, the marshmallow test, very good. So right now, I just need this pivot to be crossed, so I'm actually gonna set an alert for that. And then when this pivot actually fires, I will create an announcement in the general chat, okay? So, let's do it. BTC USD, crossing up, Bollinger Band 180, lower edge. That'll do it. So when that alarm triggers, a long position on Bitcoin is going to be very high probability. At least the condition for a long will be good, right? I can't say anything about a signal yet, but anywhere above this red line is going to be very bullish. Until then, yes, we can get sustained downward move, or rather a continuous downward move. This here is going to act as resistance or be the pivot. So that's what you should immediately be looking for. ICX, yeah, totally. Hey, to Crypto Man, welcome. Thank you for signing up for the premium calls. I do appreciate your support. I mean, you aren't paying me anything yet, but hopefully the calls will be good enough where, you know, you stick around. And worst case scenario, just come and watch me on the live stream every day. Because Dobie and I, we appreciate you. So, let's go ICX. Ah, the 3-minute chart. Yeah, let's get away from that now, shall we? 4-hour chart. Okay. Okay. Hey, not a bad chart. Not a bad chart. I will need to go to a higher time frame, though. Okay, very nice. Up here on this time frame, the longest period is 400. So let's change this to a 400 band, see how I perform. Okay, yeah, well, there's a reason for the sustained downward trending. It's because the pivot for mean inversion has yet to be crossed, at least long-term mean inversion. And that's true on a lot of altcoins. The reason I like AST so much recently is because it's one of the only coins to actually tag the pivot, right? We need this to pop up here into this band for us to actually get a bullish scenario. And anything else is going to be short-term unreliable. Though from a relative standpoint, you can also do this. Right, as long as you have any period that you're inside, say the 200 here, right, 200 period on the 6-hour chart, we can still take a position here, right? It's going to be lower probability because it's not the longest overexpanded period. This has been wonderfully compressed. I'm actually going to set an alarm here as well, because whichever way this breaks, that wave PM signal is going to be insane. So, wave PM meow mix. Band 1 oscillator, crossing up, wave PM meow mix, band 3 oscillator. Yep. Ooh. And I'm just gonna abbreviate my text message. ICX. Oh, nope. Don't you run away. You're mine. Sorry, dog's trying to run off. ICX on the move. So I'm really not going to call anything on this until I see which way this is breaking. If it does break upward, there's going to be a very significant long position possible, right? Because this is showing the same symptoms as Bitcoin at the moment, as far as the potential short-term mean reversions. So that wave PM cross there could be very significant, and I might predict up to 767. I will call this with my alarm triggers, depending on the direction. Okay? How good is your wave PM or your strategy for scalping? Wave PM is the best tool for scalping you could ever use. Like, ever. And it depends on what you're doing. If you're trading the expansions or if you're trading the compressions. Since if you're actually using it for compressions, can be very powerful. And from a scalping standpoint, yeah. And well, the expansions are good for scalping too. Yeah, wave PM is the best tool I've ever known for scalping. I guess we could show it off on a Forex pairing if you want. Or let's show it off on AST, because that was just asked about. AST, BTC. XLM is looking pretty similar to ICX. All these altcoins are going to behave pretty much the same, at least for the short term. And we are sitting right on top of that static support. I wouldn't consider that to mean much, but again, short-term mean reversion is implied, so a bounce is implied. These aren't the worst of charts. Yeah, let's do it on the 3-minute chart, because I guess this is significant enough. All right, let's talk about scalping. Let's do 15 minutes, and I'll just use the replay feature just to do some scalp predictions, okay? I'm going to zoom back a bit more. Replay. Let's go here, okay? Okay. Just going to wait for 3D Wave PM to load up there. Libro Cairo, sure. How red should a plank in 3D Wave PM be for it to be considered the longest overexpanded period? Well, that's just the thing. It's going to change depending on its length. That's the point of the 3D Wave PM. Oh yeah, replay feature is going to be horrendously slow. It might not even work properly. Because every time it generates a new candle, it gets fucked. But I'll just pause it as soon as I see a scalp signal, just as an example, right? Not yet. And if you're going to scalp, you need a lot of patience. And on this trading pair, let's just assume we can take short positions, okay? Because longs and shorts are very different. So right here, we would actually take a short position down to the 14 mean. So I'll just draw a down arrow right there. Just like that. Okay? And that would be a very short position. Like, let's just figure out how much this is, this move here. All right, just under 2%. And let's hit play to see how it performs, right? There it is. Return to the 14 moving average. Right there, you can see it on the wick. Beautiful. And now let's keep it going. Okay, it paused a bit late. But this CCI roll down right here would have been another short entry to the 14 moving average. Okay? So the compressions are going to be counter trend trades, and the expansions are going to be with the trend trades. And you only really want to take the expansions with the trend trades in the scenario well, from a place of relative compression. Okay? Like right now, there's still not enough compression. Oh, I'm on AST, not XLM. That's my bad. I didn't notice that. Okay, let's try this again. Oh, Pem wants to do AUD USD. And I already talked about XLM here, didn't I? Oh, no, I didn't. This is very different. Okay, but there was a good scalp position here for a long position. Let's talk about it, right? This location, longest period was 45. So let's talk about scalp. 45. Oh, that would have failed. Huh. That's hilarious. Yeah, that's a losing trade. Yeah, that would not have hit target. Okay, well, there's a losing trade for you guys. Nothing works 100% of the time. And let's figure out why it didn't work. Yeah, now with this new downward cross, that's new downward expansion. Yeah, this is going to continue trending down. I would not touch XLM at the moment. Sorry, guys. AUD USD. AUD USD. Let's run the 4 hour. 200 moving average. Oh, Actually, do I have these settings correct? I do. Okay. Well, I'd say with that resistance holding strong, probably going to look for a short position here on the shorter time frames. Okay. Nice channel training here. A few over expansions. A couple good short positions. One long position there. Let's go with the 3 minute or 5 minute. See if there's anything down here we can take. One moment while we load. No, it's relative compression here. I guess what we're going to look for is just trading the wave PM expansion here, right? Because everything is beneath the 0.7 value. When that 14 period does cross upward, that'll give us a nice weighting as for the short-term trending, right? And yeah, it will be a late signal. But because there's no volatility overhead here, so this expansion should be rather significant. Yeah, I would look for this next expansion for your trade on this. Cairo says, could you please say how you differentiate between preferred planks of the 3D wave PM? An orange one rightmost or a deep red one further inside the body of the indicator. How do I differentiate? How do I prefer one? There is no preferred one. It's very objective data. I don't really prefer any of them. There's only a few true signals using the 3D wave PM. And with the picture it paints, I guess it could look very subjective from the way I use it, but there are a few rules about volatility overhead and the actual plumes of the color, which is the expansion or trending. All right. So this is actually a bit of a trend indicator too. I'm sorry if that's not a very good answer. I can't give a better one without going on a 30-minute rant about how wave PM works, what it represents, and how 3D wave PM is different than regular wave PM. And that'll take a while. The last time I went over wave PM, it took me 2.5 hours. And I'm not joking. I have a 2.5 hour recording of me talking about wave PM. But I do believe that the best opportunity for you to learn about this is going to be in the lessons I provide. There is going to be a course where I talk about all these indicators in depth. It's going to be about 6 hours long. So we'll have to stay tuned for that. But I can't actually go in depth at this moment. Let's get some final questions out here. I actually have some plans today, so I will be cutting this live stream in probably 3 to 5 minutes, depending on what you guys ask me. I guess I didn't go over Bitcoin yet. 1 second. Daily still technically trending. But again, I don't see the support breaking. It's probably just going to provide a secondary entry here. Then again, we don't have upward expansion yet, so we're just going to have to wait and see on this one, guys. All right, folks, I'm going to be done for today. Make sure you like and subscribe, and I'll see you tomorrow at the same time. Thank you, folks. I will see you all later. Fuck, one more question. D&T. Okay. Okay, yeah, we can actually get some good information on this. This might be a good play. Whew, very nice. Okay. Yeah, you can actually take a long position here pretty soon. I'll tell you what. This 14 period CCI, as soon as this rolls up, take a long position. That looks really nice. Because it's right on top of the support it should be on. So I'm predicting it's going to continue drawing down another 2%. And then from that location, it should bounce 15%. Okay? Beautiful. Hey, great find. Appreciate that. All right, that's going to be it for me today, guys. I will talk to y'all later.